What's up, everybody? This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com, and today we're going to be going through a pop style type track. What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Today we're going to be going over a track that's kind of like the new Drake song, Pop Style, but not really, but kind of. First things first, if you haven't already, you need to go and sign up to Studio1Tutorials.com. Get yourself the free 808 kit. Get yourself the free Mai Tai presets. They're crazy. It's $15 a month, and you get a guaranteed upload every week of a tutorial like this. Basic bare minimum. I'm trying to get myself up to 2 a week, and whenever we pop out these sounds, they're going straight to the subscribers first. And not only that, you get the inside track with the I prioritize all my communications now with my premium members. So anybody who comes at me, with questions or concerns or advice about, gear or anything like that, I'm getting to you guys first, because y'all are the team right now. So I want to get into what we're going to be making today for you all. All right, cool. So if y'all been following the channel, you already know. But if you're new to the channel, we don't do remakes here at Craftmaster Productions because that's basic, and we don't need to be remaking people's beats. We're gonna dissect the vibe of this track. The first thing we'll look at is the kick pattern. It's just your track's going to 133, and what they did is this is a this is like a this is a really good boom bap pattern almost, so they use kind of like a boom bap principle with the back-to-back kicks, and then they kind of got syncopated at the end, and that's what gives you this this really nice bop. Now that kick I'm using, typically you guys will see me use a shorter kick, and that's because I'm stacking it with an 808. The vibe of this track, if you listen to the original, in the sections where the kick is playing, there's no 808 and there's no bass line. It's just this really big fat kick. So Trap Camp Entertainment, the boy Ab McCree, he's got this awesome drum kit. It's called Kill Bill. I use it a lot. It's $15, man. Y'all should fuck with them. This is a really good kit. And I picked the red kick too because, as you can see, there's a whole lot of content here, and as you can hear, it's a big fat kick. Like this kick, it looks like he had one kick for the attack, and then he's got one for the sustain right here, and then he has another like type of tail going on for the release over here, and you get this nice really long sound, and it's got a lot of low end. So when you go ahead and you put your mastering plugs on it, it really stands out. The next part is we have the snare. We're in 133, we're working in double time, so that's just on your 3 beats, and there's no like snare rolls or anything crazy in this track. It's just they're just laid out how they are. The hi-hat work was pretty cool. I mimicked what the hi-hats that they had in their track in the original, and what they wound up doing was, if you play it, they back to back a triplet roll, and then they go back into the regular timing. So if you were to you know, if you were to try to draw this out from scratch, the way that I got it was I just I had these two eighth notes. That's how I start all my hi-hats, as an eighth notes, and then I'll chop them up. So I had this sound at first. Now, in order to spice it up, I'll take this eighth note, go and chop that to a 16th triplet. And then what makes it sound really cool is when you back to back a 16th triplet with like a straight 16th note, and that's how you get this really it's almost like you're turning a speed dial almost when you listen to it. And that's all there is to get that effect. So if you want to experiment with that, you know, do a triplet roll and then go right next to it with the same, you know, the same note value but not triplets. You know, you could try it with eighth notes, you could try it with 32 notes, and you're going to get a really cool effect. And that's I've noticed that in a lot of the new OVO style stuff, they're using this technique. So definitely take note of it, cuz this is you know, people mess with the hi-hats every year. This is the new wave. You mastered this and you're gonna be good with your drums for the next year or two. The next section that we have was I had this sample in a sample pack, and I just went in here and chopped it. I slowed the attack down because the way it was hitting before was real crazy. I didn't like the way that came in like that, so I went ahead and just slowed the attack. I've got the sampler set to monophonic, that way it only plays once, and the release all the way up, so all I have to do is touch the key and the whole sample plays all the way through. You know, to kind of create the vibe of what they had going on, but keep it completely different, is I thought about it in terms of, okay, like what are the elements? Because it's a sample that they used, and they had, you know, there were strings in the sample, a piano, and a vocal sample. So, you know, if you're kind of wanting to recreate the vibe, but not completely, you know, rip off someone else's beat, there's nothing wrong with, you know, making a track with the same instruments. You know, like all rock bands in the history of rock aren't fake because they all use guitars. You feel what I'm saying? So what I did was I went ahead and I got this sample, then I took a piano out of complete, and I just played the same chord over and over after the sample hit to kind of get a similar vibe. And this was a thing right here, the way this came out, because if you look at this chord, it's a D, it's a D sharp minor chord. But what I did was I instead of using the third to make the chord, I slid the third down into the second note of the scale, and that's what kind of gives it that eerie vibe. Otherwise what that chord sounds like is this. Which is completely fine, but the vibe that I was getting from the sample was more creepy. So when you're making your chord progressions, the point of this is don't be afraid to, you know, make the basic triad and maybe slide this one down, and then and keep the top and the bottom note the same, or at the same effect, you could take your fifth and slide that down too and see what it sounds like. Probably not gonna sound too good, but actually isn't bad. I could make the beat like that too, but this is a trick that I do a lot. I like it. So The next thing that I added was I had the acapella to Alicia Keys' "You Don't Know My Name," and I just found little chops in it that I liked. I didn't put them in a sampler. I manually chopped them, you know, threw them in here. Now, for the bass, I used an OVO preset pack that I got. I think this is Marvin's Room Volume 3 from Superstar O. They got good presets over there at Industry Kits, man. I fuck with that site, and they're cheap too. I think I got this for like $20, you know. And then the good part about that is, you know, once you get the presets, you can study it on the synthesizer and then, you know, recreate a similar vibe somewhere else. So that's the good thing about buying presets too, is it's actually a good study tool if you're trying to get your sound design up. The bass line, I just went, it was, I mean, I just took the root note, then I went up one, and then when the turnaround came, I took the root note and I went down one, and I kept it really simple. The simpler and less musically intricate you keep your bass, that's what's it's gonna give you a grimy feel. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be droning and menacing, and there's not gonna be any funk to it. Funk implies, like, you know, when you're playing a lot of different notes, like a doom 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 doom. When you have that many notes in your bass line, it's kind of playful. When you have more of like a doo 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 doo, like that's more menacing, and that's the way this track was going. So I went ahead and added this sound in. Now, to kind of transition between these two different spaces, because if you look at my layout, you see where I have my drums, I don't have the bass playing, and where I have the bass playing, I don't have the drums. So to kind of to transition between those two places, I took this instrument here. It's called Action Strikes. I got some pretty cool Tachyo drums in here, and I just programmed a quick little pattern here. You know, I kept it filtered because the vibe of this track is actually pretty filtered. So I wanted to keep up with that and not, you know, have this, you know, orchestral drum sound that's, you know, real shiny with the highs. This is what it wound up sounding like. So that's how we move from the intro into kind of the verse, and the verse is just the drums with the sample playing, the piano playing, and the vocal sample. Then from there, we move into a section where we have the bass line, and then I added this melody from Omnisphere, and I put some crazy effects on it inside of Guitar Rig. I use this Psychotica, which I use this a lot when I want to make trippy stuff. It has a really good phaser on it, and some good delay stacked into it. So the sound that you wound up getting out of it when it was all said and done was this one. And what you want to take away from this right here is, if you notice, my melody isn't starting on the one. It's totally fine to, you know, mess around and start your melody somewhere else than on the one. And what this does is it gives you space, which is what you're trying to accomplish if you're having a break that's only like a kick and the bass. You see what I'm saying? You don't have a lot of high frequency content going on. You don't got a lot in the mid range. You're kind of just trying to give your vocalist room to do what they want to do, and you want to make a sparse melody. Let that bass and that kick hit first, and then come in with some music. Try that out, and you'll wind up with something really cool, like the original version of this track. And that's pretty much how the track was put together. If you guys want to learn more about arrangement and mixing and how to put this all together to get a song, go ahead and follow me. Sign up, get a premium membership at www.studio1tutorials.com. Remember, we got free presets for you. We got free 808s upon signing up. You're going to get an email with the Dropbox link, 25 presets from My Time Mafia Volume 1 and the Miami Subs 808 edition. So this is Concrete Zebra, Craft Master Productions, Studio1Tutorials.com. Sign up today. Keep it simple. Don't be basic. And we'll see you on the next one.